Hello, it's Monday, September 25th, 2017, and as of this recording, I'm still depressed, but I'm not dead. Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. I appreciate each and every one of you taking time out of your day to download and listen to the podcast. You guys are wonderful, beyond my wildest dreams that I would have so many downloads, listeners. The feedback I get from you guys is awesome. Thank you all so very much. Kind of a laundry list of, I guess not even a laundry list, kind of a mundane show today. I'm feeling kind of blah, and I thought maybe talking it out might help a little bit, so that's what I'm going to do. But before that, of course, I need to let you know how to get a hold of me. jamoalki@gmail.com, www.jamoalki.info, facebook.com/jamoalki, @jamoalki on Twitter, that's JAMOALKI, or you can text me at 248-648-1419. Those are the ways to get a hold of me. Drop me a line. Let me know how you're doing, what you think of the show, suggestions, comments, dislikes, likes, whatever. Also, if you haven't already, I guess I should be telling you guys to subscribe to me on iTunes, right? I hear that a lot on podcasts now. So if you haven't done that, head right on over to iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, wherever, and subscribe so you get the episodes as they are released. Yeah, and also while you're at those places, if you can figure out how to give a rating to the show, go ahead, give me a high rating, 4 stars, 5 stars, whatever it may be. That way the show will turn up higher in searches for keywords such as depressed, depression, suicide, things like that. Maybe you think my voice might help someone else, so that's the best way you can help them find me, is to give me a high rating. That's it. I've done all the begging and pleading I'm going to do for that, so let's get into the show. So I've been saying now for a few shows that I'm kind of struggling, just generally having a rough go of it with the depression, and that's still going. Maybe I'm feeling even a little worse than I did a week ago, which was probably worse than a week before that. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. And and try to sort through this a little bit for myself. And you guys get to come along for the adventure, I suppose. The kind of biggest thing going on is that nothing really holds any value to me. Nothing holds my interest. The idea of needing to get something done, say a responsibility around the house, or maybe just reach out and connect with someone, or anything like that, I guess. Work on the blog, work on the podcast. I got ideas on things I want to do, but none of it seems important right now. And stereotypically, all my interests are gone. There's nothing really that holds any interest for me. If I think about what am I going to do today, I just had 3 days off in a row. Couldn't think of a darn thing really to do. I guess I don't know. Well, I don't know. Let's talk about a day. Let's talk about yesterday. I got up early as usual. 5, I think, maybe 5:30. I'm not sure. Got up and, didn't really want to knock around the house and keep Nora, or wake up Nora, even though she was getting up to go do a run. Good for her. She did a 5K race yesterday. But I decided, hey, I'm gonna walk to the bagel shop, which isn't that unusual for me, as most of the longtime listeners know. But more frequently, I've been driving to the bagel shop because the idea of walking sounds so daunting. But I decided to walk because, well, it takes longer. And it would help me get farther along into the day. So I got there, I ordered a couple bagels, sat down with my laptop, and, I have two bookmark folders on my computer and on my laptop synced together. And they're called Daily 1 and Daily 2, only because I didn't want to have all of them in one bookmark. And they're, fun things, different kind of, funny daily or continuously updated. So funny pictures or memes or stories or things like that, and quite a few of them. I skipped right through all those because the idea of I click and all the bookmarks open, and then I quickly just click, and closed these funny websites as they showed up, because really it just felt stupid. Like, what's the point? They're not going to be funny. And to be fair, they're never like laugh out loud funny for me. Occasionally I'll find something and send to one of my friends back home, or to one of my girls on Facebook Messenger, or just download the picture and send it via text. So, I find usually I would find value in these, but no, not for a bit. So I just closed those out. I've got probably half a dozen bookmarks in there that are science related, breaking science news, or there's a really great, lots of really great subreddits about science. I just closed those right away too, because, I didn't see any reason to read them. I didn't have any interest in reading them. I didn't really care what the latest science news was. So, and so one of the bookmarks is the stat page for the podcast here. They tell me how many downloads, total downloads the past day, the past month, where downloads happen, things like that, which I'll admit in the past I've been kind of hooked on, just kind of looking at and, thinking, wow, look at that. There's 10 more downloads than yesterday. But I didn't even log in when that page came up. I just clicked that one closed because, who cares? I mean, I don't know. So, the neighbors have decided to start cutting the grass, so maybe a little bit noisy for a while. Facebook comes up, and I'm not a huge Facebook reader. I don't get their algorithms on what they show you as being, most important to you. Even it seems like they've got some funky algorithm for showing you what's the latest posts, and that seems to be kind of disappointing as well. Anyway, this is not a show about Facebook. Twitter, check out Twitter. Why even bother? I mean, there's so much chatter on Twitter. There's no way I could get in touch with or get on the same page as someone else with what's going on in the Twitterverse. So, why bother with that? So I ate my bagels and got up and walked home. Exciting, huh? Got home and really just wanted to crawl back into bed. And I did for a little bit. I got into bed and just kind of laid there staring at nothing, trying to get comfortable. Couldn't really get comfortable. Figured out a way to get back out of bed. Honestly, I if I remember correctly, I got up because I wanted to be able to take a longer nap later on. So I wandered the house for a little bit, trying to figure out with something to do, trying to come up with a plan on what to do. Decided to go to the library for a little while to work on my book, in quotation marks, my air quotes there, saying work on my book. So I got there, brought a soda pop, was ready to go, sprawled out on a table, had 5 chapters 6 through 10 that I wanted to look at, and had my soda, had my little flyer for Depressed, Not Dead podcast with me. I always like to have it on the table next to me, even though in the hopes that someone would stop by and say, hey, what's that about? But that's not happened. And I'm not lamenting that. I just, as a way of saying I always have that out when I'm at the library. So, I I took chapter 6, started looking at it, and thought, oh, this is stupid. This book is stupid. This whole thing is stupid. So I put it back to the side. Holy cow, you guys. The neighbors, the next door neighbor, nobody lives there. Every now and then someone comes by. And some kid just came by, and he's cutting their 100 square feet of grass. And I swear he's been cutting it for half an hour now with his, crappy old lawnmower making all kinds of noise. So I'm back again. So yeah, where was I? I got home. I was at the library, right? And so book was stupid. I have a novel that I'm trying to read. I think I mentioned this. Jeez, I can't remember now. Anyway, so I'm trying to read this first book in a series of a crime novelist in John Sanford, I believe his name is, and trying to get hooked on some kind of series or something so that I have something to look forward to. Hey, finish one book. Well, it's not the end. There's another book to go. Open that up, read the same sentence 7 times, closed it back up. Really frustrated. Okay, here I'm at the library. What am I going to do? So I people watched. Just kind of people watched. Kept looking back at, chapter 6. Kept opening up the mystery crime novel. I got a message from Nora, so I messaged her back. But basically an hour of just people watching and accomplishing nothing. So once I realized that an hour had gone by, I decided, okay, I'm going home. Got home, got in bed, took a nap, I don't know, an hour and a half, 2 hours, something like that. Got up and wandered the house again, just looking for something to kind of take my interest or strike me as being important to do. Finally, at some point, Nora said her mom might be coming over for dinner. So, hey, wouldn't it be nice to have a couple extra things with the teriyaki steak we're having tonight? So, I can go to the store. So off I went to Super Target to do some little bit of shopping. Managed to walk up and down the aisles, killing time, right? Because it takes longer and the day goes by more. Got home, kind of wandered the house again, looking. She says, should water the plants? Nah, screw it. If they die, I don't have to water them. She probably should wash the dogs, but no, I don't want to do that. There's laundry's pretty well caught up. I could, we probably could do to clean the floors, but no, that who cares, right? So no, I swept them. I dust mopped the floors to get the little bits and pieces off the floor because I hate when they get stuck to the bottom of my feet. Empty the dishwasher. So that was a thing, right? I noticed that there were dishes kind of piling up in the sink, and I said, what the heck is that about? And I said, oh yeah, the dishwasher's full, dishwasher's full but clean, so let me empty it. Empty that. Wandered the house some more. Nora was upstairs in the bedroom, the only room we had air conditioning in, and it's been hot this past weekend in the 90s. We're around 30 or so for you metric folks. And so I went upstairs. She was on the bed watching TV, doing that. So I got in bed and kind of lay there with her, pretending to watch TV, but really just kind of zoned out, staring towards the TV and kind of in a position where she couldn't see whether I was sleeping, engrossed in the show, or other. And clearly I was other. Found out Nora's mom wasn't coming. She's actually having dinner with Nora's ex and the boy. So awesome. Good for them. Good for her. Finally, it got to be around 6. I asked Nora what time she would like to eat, and she said soon, which was great because then I could get into action, and the whole 15 minutes of cooking it was going to take, I was able to do that. We ate. We watched an episode of The Defenders, which is a Netflix series. And really, I kind of like the Luke Cage character, so that was good enough for me to watch. And dinner was over. We went back to crocheting and pretending to watch TV. Then I pretended to read for a little bit, but I couldn't really get into it. Kind of like at the library. I guess why am I pretending to watch TV, pretending to read? And really, I don't want Nora to see me like not finding anything to do. She knows that I'm struggling. I've kind of talked to her about that, but I guess I'm still kind of buffering her from exactly what's going through or not going through my head at all times. So if I'm laying in bed but reading, then that's productive. If I'm laying in bed and watching TV, then not as productive, but it's not laying in bed sleeping. So at some point I looked over at the clock and it was like 7:15 or 7:20, and I thought, oh geez, how am I going to make it to like at least 8:30, right? I can't pretend to read anymore. I can't pretend to watch TV any longer because this is, driving me, it's maddening how, I want to be doing something engaging, but I can't find anything engaging. So I got up and said, okay, I'm going to go clean up the dishes and clean up after dinner. And while I was doing that, I kind of got to looking at the dogs and thought, oh, they really are dirty. So I washed the dogs, basically because it passed time to get me closer to that 8:30 goal. So yeah, I gave them a bath, and it's not one of my fun things to do, but someone has to do it, so I did it. Got back upstairs about 8:45, and I announced that it was time for me to go to bed. And Nora kind of pushed back a little bit, and I was like, hey, look, this, my podcast folks know this. I'm up at 4:30, 5 o'clock, every day. So 8:45, 9 o'clock, I go to bed. That's like 8 hours sleep if I manage to sleep it straight through. So that's what I'm going with. So yeah, that was yesterday. And I hated it. I hated every minute of yesterday. It's just, well, and today's not really much better. Maybe even a little worse because today was a work day, and, throughout the morning, I felt kind of lightheaded, maybe a little bit dizzy when I was walking around trying to work. Not quite sure what that's about. I'm going to go on that maybe I should wear my glasses a little bit more. I have a pretty weak prescription, but maybe it's gotten a little bit worse, and, maybe intermediary wearing my glasses might help me out. So I got to clean them up, scrub them up tonight, and I'll wear them tomorrow, see how that goes. But I was thinking today while I went back to the library, right, chapter 6 through 10, still need to get gone through, how I've said it before. I've said I've felt this way before, but I don't know if I appreciated it like I do now, but I feel numb, right? I don't feel happy. I don't necessarily feel sad. The only time I'm not feeling numb, I guess you can't feel numb. The only time I'm not numb is when I'm kind of irritated at someone. That seems to be happening a little bit more frequently now. So yeah, I'm numb. And here I am today. It's 5:15 right now. Nora's still at work. I have no plans for dinner. It's going to be a everyone for themselves type dinner. Honestly, part of the reason I recorded this is because maybe I'll edit it tonight, and that will help me get through to 8:30, 8:45 tonight. Yeah, I don't know. It's been a long 3 or 4 days. But, I want to be clear that as much as I'm kind of struggling right now, I'm not suicidal in any way, shape, or form. I'm really just struggling with my depression. I haven't had increased, suicidal ideations, no increased feelings of, geez, I'd be better off if I wasn't here, nothing like that. I'm just really stuck in this depressed mode right now, and I'm not sure where the exit is just yet. I will say, however, on that suicidal note, I did check Twitter today, and I got a message from my friend Kate down in Australia, and she mentioned that she had seen, she went to the library and stumbled across an author giving a lecture or talking about a book, and it was a book about death a lot and suicide with some specific methods of suicide. And she said, things I'm better off not knowing. And I read that, and all I want to do is ask her, what were they? Kate, I know you're listening to this, so you don't have to tell me. I'm just kind of sharing that. But again, I'm not suicidal. I'm not looking to end my days. I'm looking to end today. Maybe I'll wake up tomorrow a little bit better. I have decided that I'm going to increase my Lexapro 5 milligrams to 15 milligrams, which is still within the maintenance zone of 10 to 20 milligrams. I haven't talked to my psychiatrist about this, and I probably should. But I tend to be a dabbler, and I figure it's still in the maintenance zone, and I'm going up, not down, so I'm going to give it a shot. And it is a medication that you step up or step down in 5 milligram increments. So I feel confident that I'm doing okay. And I'm going to try to move more, I guess. I have a Fitbit step goal every day of 12,000 steps, and maybe I ought to try getting to that. That means just taking more walks during the day. Get off work, get home by 1:30, maybe go for a walk for 45 minutes to an hour. That can't hurt, right? Also, hey, I'm looking for a hobby. I think I've mentioned this before. I need kind of a low stress, easy to get into hobby. And, I'm taking any and all suggestions. Please keep in mind what I've just spent 25 minutes going on about, how I don't have really any interest in anything. So if I don't become, a contemporary stamp collector with you, then I'm sorry. But please, if you got little tips, little tricks, little ideas, things that kind of make you happy or just fiddle away the time, send them my way. I'd appreciate that. Yeah, I don't know. That's what I got for today. Everybody, thanks again for listening, and be safe and be well.